Hey guys, today's devotional comes from Mark chapter 5, verses 25 through 34. Now, a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years and had suffered many things from many physicians. She had spent all that she had and was no better, and rather grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, "If only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well." Immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of affliction. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd and said, "Who touched my clothes?" But his disciples said to him, "You see the multitude thronging you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" And he looked around to see her who had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell down before him and told him the whole truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your affliction." Now, what I've learned from this, what God was showing me, is that people will be just healed by being around you. You know, a lot of times we don't understand what it means to kind of be a blessing in with our presence. And some people, like, I know, like, and I'll give you an example, like people you've been around and they have influenced you to change your life or do better things. People you watched and people that you came in contact with. People, I'm talking about, like, you literally got in their presence and you just saw how they were, and you realize, like, hey, if I can just get close to them, if I can get some insight from them, if I can just spend some time with them, I can change my life. And when you got around them, your life changed. And God was showing me that that's part of our walk. Like, people, they will experience him when they're near you, especially if you're walking with God closely. They can be healed of their traumas and their experiences. You know, this lady, she went through a lot. You know, she spent all her money trying to heal herself. Like, I can imagine how frustrating it is. 12 years, and she's unclean too. Like, she was bleeding, so they probably seen her as unclean. So she probably couldn't be touched. She probably couldn't, of course, get married or have a husband, because she probably couldn't have a child. You know, that was important during that time. So mentally, physically, and just she's strained. You know what I'm saying? She's done all she can, and she can't figure it out. She heard about Jesus, and she went just near him. She didn't even get a message. She just said, "Hey, if I can just touch him, if I can just get in his presence and get close, I can be changed. I can be healed." And she was, you know. And I think that's why Jesus even recognized when that power went out from him, because he was just like, man, who put who put such a demand on my presence, or who held it so high that power just came from me. And that's what he was like. God was showing me, like, there's going to be people around you that is going to hear your story, or just they're going to hear about you, and they're going to be like, "Hey, can I get in this person's presence and I'll change?" And they'll change when they get around you. And like guys, it's an honor and a blessing to be able to be at that level of being able to do that. But as you continue to work and as you continue to work on yourself, we're all supposed to be that. That's what it means to really be a light. Like, when you're a light, you can illuminate, you can provide warmth, you can help cleanse. Like, just look up the functions of light, and that's what a lot of light does. A light has many purposes, but as a light in this world, like I said, warmth, it cleans, it shows, it keeps safe. Like, light is a safety thing too. That's why you see street lights, is to keep people safe. It's a lot of things that light does. That's what we're supposed to do, and our presence brings light. So, like, I can just imagine that woman being healed, and now she has a new lease on life. The money that she was spending on trying to get fixed, she can use for herself. She can now get a husband. She can now experience physical touch. Like, because back then you couldn't touch a woman and she was bleeding. Like, if they thought she was unclean, because then you would be considered unclean, and then that's a whole ordeal with sacrificing. But thank God for Christ and his sacrifice. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for you today, man. All right, like, hey, let's be those type of people and carry that light and that presence and help people, because you will have people that will come in your life, or if you're even that woman, like, you'll come in somebody, like, there might be somebody that you're trying to reach. I'm telling you that you have God's presence, you have access to it, and you can, if you get into his presence, he can heal you from all those things too. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. All right, y'all take care. All right, stay blessed.